First, let's just review what Poatan said about Charles's defeat to the Tarik and the message he sent. For the former lightweight champion, quote, "I didn't talk to him after the fight, but before the fight we just talked to each other and he was there focused on his team. I was also focused, but afterwards I didn't say anything and I didn't see his fight either. I only saw a few shots. I wanted to watch his fight, but my head wasn't there. I was focused on my fight, but I was always rooting for him. That's the message I have for Charles. No. Technically I didn't watch the fight. I didn't see anything, and man, I've been through this. Not only in MMA, but in kickboxing. This happens most of the time. But of course he has to see if he made a mistake, because sometimes we lose. But it's not because we made a mistake, no man. It's because suddenly the guy was better, understood. But he has to see. If there have to be changes, make things different. No one knows what he goes through outside of the fighting world, because sometimes it gets in the way. So I don't have much to say to him. I just think that if there's something to correct, the important thing is for him to know what to correct, because sometimes we don't even know what we have to correct where we made a mistake. But the important thing is to know where to correct it and look for it. Somehow you're fixing it. Close quotation marks. Well, Charles gave an interview yesterday for the Full Violence channel, and if you pay attention, just what he said first, he talked about the defeat to Tysarukyan. Open up, man. In reality, what it's supposed to be is very crazy. It's very complex, because the one who came closest to winning the fight was me in the 3 rounds. First round, I got the guillotine. In the second round, I got the triangle arm engaged. In the last round, triangle with my hands engaged. I even thought he had paid. But the victory was given to the other side. So I don't have much to do. That's the real thing. Now just go back home and train again. If dedicating and waiting for the next one in this fight was to no car or finish, that's the real no car or finish. There's not much you can do. I think if I were to play on the score, I was closest to finishing the fight. I had 3 opportunities out of the 3, and my opponent was a guy who just tried to stifle the fight and held it there. The second round was the round he did best. He hit with his elbows, but when it goes to the judge's decision, there's not much you can do. Close it. Quotes. He said if he thought the result of the fight was fair, man. It's very complicated, because there are places you go, they really believe in domination on the ground. Then there's another place you go, they talk a lot about connecting blows. There's another place it's going to be the guy who comes closest to winning the fight. So man, I don't know. I think it's very complicated. I think it's a lot of things. That's why I think if you want to win there, you have to analyze it. Because then there's no, how do they take away your victory? Close quotes. And finally, he talked about what he thought of Poatan's victory over Jamal and the advice that Poatan gave him right after the defeat to Tysarukyan. Yes, I read some things that really made me smile. Alex is coming to make a gigantic story. A guy who catches very well. As I said in all my interviews I gave, I really believe that he could knock out, that he was going to knock out, and I also saw that. I was very grateful for what he said, and for sure this is the mentality for us as athletes. When we win or when we lose, we always go back home and turn things around. Especially when we lose, we try to bring back the I drop the I, so you can try to put it in PR to see what's missing. So we can certainly see there, listen a little, and that's what I'm going to do. Go back to PR. As I'm back, stay close to my family, go out from the comfort zone and making it happen. Close quotes.